overall thoughts on Dynasty?
It actually was a pretty good pay-per-view. It was predictably, for the most part, what I thought it would be. The people who I thought was going to go over more often than I did. And I hate to say it like this. So of course you have Revolution, which is considered a bigger pay-per-view, and you have Double or Nothing, which is considered their SummerSlam, which is next month. And so Dynasty sandwiched in between them. It basically was a pay-per-view that just advanced advanced stories, and it did a good job of that. But in terms of, wow, that was a great pay-per-view type of feel, maybe the main event, but outside of that, not really. But it was good. It was a good show all around.
Yeah, just all this way, to be honest. All right, so to the bottom here. Actually, there's a couple of interesting things that happened so the dogs, the old war dogs from NJPW, part of Bullet Club War Dogs. Mm-hmm. They won the six-man. Have to make sure I say it right. No, the trios championships.
That's what they call them. Yeah.
Let me make sure I say it right because people changed from company to company.
Right.
So I don't see the point in the second run for Jet Speed and but it to be like a week. I feel like that takes a little, but that's the way it was swung. So I mean, it's got to be part of a bigger storyline.
Hopefully.
Disrespectfully. And I think that's all I got to say about it. Anything you want to add about that whole thing, Cole?
My issue with the trios title,
not worth your time, sir.
That's not really. I mean, my issue with that is they don't really have a hardcore plan with it. So it's like it's almost to the point of why even create the titles in the first place. And this sort of feels thrown together yet again. That's the feeling I got.
Story with them is non-existent. I completely agree with that part. And anybody tries to tell me it's great storytelling, I just want to know whatever it is that you've been drinking, or snorting, or sniffing, or smoking, because you are not in a normal state of mind if you have a belief that was planned out at all. So yeah, I'm not too pleased about that. Not too pleased about that at all.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's do these matches here. So you had Marina Shafir against Alex Windsor. Alex Windsor won. Then we had Camille against Big Ann. Camille won in a minute and 30 seconds. That was your pre-show.
Oh, Lord.
All right, get to the regular card. Lord. We already talked about the dogs and the other guys that mean nothing.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So now we can get to Jack Perry versus Mark Davis for the AEW National Title match. Mark Davis has been in every title match and has yet to win anything. But he be in the matches, but yet to win anything. He has as many title wins in AEW as I do. He's always right there. So Jack Perry won to keep the title. So a division that's booked a lot better than the men's trios championships is the women's tag team championships. Megan Bain and Lena Cross. And I want to bust this down on two different levels. As athletes, you can't convince me that Megan Bain and Lena Cross can beat almost everybody on this roster. And for a sumptuousness factor, you can't convince me that Megan Bain and Lena Cross were the right people to
win. You don't get an argument on me.
Sumptuous factors are very important.
Mm-hmm. Because my thinking with Megan Bain.
All right, then we had a tag team match, which we learned about. Oh, go ahead, sir.
I was gonna say my thing with Megan Bain is, put together the right program when you're gonna slide her the TNA Women's Championship, because she's gonna deserve to have it, but put a good program on so she could demolish everybody in her wake, because that's must-see television.
Facts. All right, we had a weird tag team match. We had Konosuke Takeshita.
Oh yeah, and
teaming up with Kazuchika Okada per the orders of Don Callis to face the Young Bucks. These two guys hate each other's guts.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't see the purpose of putting two guys that hate each other's guts in a tag team match together and saying you're going to work it out. Not only did they do that, see how questionable, illogically placed this whole thing was. If they win the match, Takeshita gets a shot at Kazuchika Okada's title. Don Callis, there must be some good stuff you had too. You must have been hanging out with Tony Khan. So, of course, Takeshita turned his back on his tag team partner and lost the match. He walked off. He could care less.
Right.
So, Young Bucks won 21-minute match. What's great about it is I thought the match was going to be 30 minutes. So they fooled me. All right, then we only had 10 matches on the main card too. So kudos to Tony Khan. We usually have about 12 to 15.
Right.
So kudos. Yeah. He must be sneak watching the show.
Hope so.
So Chris Jericho versus Ricochet with Gates of Agony. About guys getting back, normally winning the match. This went against that. Mm-hmm. And then Ricochet won the match. Obviously, having the two other people out there made a big difference. And you could explain that by saying, it's basically 3-on-1 match because he was getting help from those guys the entirety of the match. So I'm not upset, but I am shocked that Chris Jericho didn't get him in his first match back. Mm-hmm. That's for all you to think what they did. Tony Khan was in there talking to, I'm not doing the whole Adam Copeland. He's in there talking to Edge, and Edge played his music and said, "You think you know me?" And Tony Khan said, "Yeah, they think they know me." That's what happened. That's what I believe happened.
Oh my God.
That is what I'm going with. That's what I'm sticking with. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. All right, then we had Andrade versus Darby Allin. I'm going to go ahead and say with 13 minutes. So Andrade is supposed to be a main eventer in AEW. He does not win to the level of the main eventer. Andrade offered Darby a handshake and then raised his arm after the match. So Andrade and Takeshita might get jumped out of the Don Callis family on Wednesday. We'll see.
So Andrade is going to be circling the
drain. Then we had FTR, Dax Harwood, and Cash Wheeler. Oh, go ahead, sir.
I said, so that means Andrade is going to be circling the drain.
Right. And then we had FTR against Cope and, excuse me, the T-shirt says Cage and Cope.
Right. Hey, Cope got color.
There was good action. There's always good action in AEW matches.
Right.
Dax and Cash gave up that shatter machine and won that match in 21 minutes, keeping their AEW tag team titles. Good for them. Willow Nightingale is going to defend her TBS title against Camille this Wednesday on Dynamite. Awesome. Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal, TNT title match. So they're doing the TNT title in the Casino Gauntlet Battle Royal. I won't be sucked into that nonsense. Kevin Knight won. He's now the TNT champion. Congratulations, Mr. Knight. But they had to do that because the champion got hurt and couldn't defend the title. So I understand why they did it. So Kevin Knight is now your champion. Mm-hmm. It was a good match, but the one thing I always say about AEW, you're always going to get good matches.
Right.
Now, whether you like what you get or not, as far as like outcomes, that's a different thing, but you're always going to get good matches. It's going to be at least 2 to 3 matches thrown together, but there'll still be a good match. But you have no reason to care about that outcome.
Right.
All right, then we have AEW Women's title match. Thekla versus Jamie Hayter. Tony Khan in his powder-induced state definitely disagrees with me. Thekla won 17 minutes. He's still your AEW Women's World Title holder. Any thoughts on that, sir?
I have to admit, Tekla's grown on me a little, but it's a shame that Jamie Hayter has become such an afterthought after being considered one of the top talents in the women's division there. Now you don't really think of her much at all, except for she's a good talent to throw at the women's world champion and she can job to them. Yeah. But Thekla, yeah, she's growing on me. I'm starting to really like her.
Ain't that crazy? Mm-hmm. The thing she do is job. Ain't that crazy?
Yeah. Yeah, and this was, and she had a lengthy run with the knockout with the women's world championship. You would think she would be held in higher esteem, but nope. Mm-mm.
You would think so.
Yeah.
And she's caked up, so you can't fry the front like she ain't got the cakes or nothing.
Yeah.
She's caked up. They just don't want to show no love.
Yeah.
Thekla got some weird cakes, but she got cakes, but they're like weird cakes. Everything's about Thekla is weird, so.
Right. Yeah.
That just goes with the brand of Thekla.
Right. I agree with that. The whole brand is weird.
Then we have Will Ospreay. Yeah, Will Ospreay versus John Moxley. I'm about to say AT&T. Lord. AEW Continental title. Boy. Again, another good match. These two could put on a good match, in quicksand in the desert.
Yeah, that one I didn't have a concern about that either.
But Moxley won in 18 minutes. Still the AEW Continental champion holder. They had an interview backstage with Darby Allin. Then they had the conglomeration and the dogs. The match we were talking about earlier. Mm-hmm. Yes. Ridiculous. Okay. It's ridiculous. The conglomeration, right? Mm-hmm. The War Dogs just get the belts. I don't know if I said this properly earlier, but the War Dogs just get the belts and they lose them to the conglomeration. What was the point of ever having them? Mm. And as Cole so effortlessly put it, they clearly do not care about the Trios Championships. The Trios Championships should look in the mirror and start singing Michael Jackson. All I gotta say is that they don't really care about us.
100.
Because that's how they treat y'all. All right, MJF versus Kenny Omega, AEW World Title match. After all the back and forth and the chicanery and buffoonery, MJF won. He gave Omega a tombstone pile driver after he gut punched him with his ring, and then a heat seeker for the win. So MJF doing exactly I've been disappointed in him. As Cole said, and if you want to add anything, feel free to, sir. As Cole said, I enjoyed what I got. It was obviously setting up for next month. So it was kind of one of those. We're ending some storylines, we're solidifying some things, but it's not going to make you moist to watch this. Long story short, and that's what you got. Mm-hmm. Then you like to add to that, Mr. Johnson.
I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, just from the standpoint of, was I expecting to have something earth-shattering like a huge title change? No. It served its purpose. It like you said, advanced some storylines and set up the beginning of the storylines to go to Double or Nothing. So we got what we. I put it so we got what we came for. Not bad, not great, but not bad.
Fair enough. So we got a couple of comments here. We hit real through. We're gonna get that commercial in there. Then we're gonna run over a little bit, y'all. We're gonna run over. But it's all about WrestleMania. Yeah. All right. Daniel Berry Sports Highlight. Happy Monday, hey everyone. What's going on, Daniel Berry? Shout out to my guy Daniel Berry, man. He be here. He be in the bricks with us. Word up. All right. We Bo Little Brother Gaming says dope content. We appreciate that. Appreciate that all days. Any day and every day.
Beautiful.
Yolanda says, hey.
Yolanda.
What is up, girl? Yolanda? She says, what I miss. And like the doting brother he is, the maker says we just started. Then at VLock83, I'm unfortunately not going to be able to do the sound effect today, but maybe this once my boy, Mr. Cole Johnson, can hit it for me.
All right. The man who's known as Ricola.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
No problem, sir.
Let me see if I can. Good evening, gents. The EP of all EPs, Cole Johnson and Cool Breeze McCain, the most elite of Eagles. Hola, Mr. Block. And we appreciate your continued support, as always. El Juggalo says, whoop, whoop. He also says, gotta ask this, since this has been trending for a while, your thoughts on JCW. Do you have any thoughts on JCW, sir?
Actually, I don't have any.
I don't either. We appreciate you, though, El Juggalo. Just
definitely.
You know how it goes. And Benny Boom bleeds green. Boom. A lot of my hats that you see, they're not like just the regular fitted joints, but like they got a little flavor to them. You know what I'm saying? You can tell the Ben's a little bit and all those. Those are from Benny Boom.
Oh, you do some good work, Benny. I like that.
So the thing with Benny is, and I try to say this every once in a while, I don't try to do it and make people think, that it's a glizzy glob type thing, because we don't get down like that. Benny does good work. He can get you whatever you need, any team you like. So it's not if you're not an Eagle fan, you're not a this fan or that fan. No, Benny got you covered. So hey, you looking for some stuff? Benny Boom 68. He on my friends list. Benny Boom Designs. Holla at that man, get right. Some official, some a little different. So you ain't out here looking like everybody else. But he says, were you really expecting Kenny Omega to beat MJF for the title? No. My answer to that question is no, I was not.
No.
Absolutely not. But if I just come on here and don't act surprised about anything, what's the point?
Mm-hmm.
El Juggalo says they'll be doing a WrestleMania weekend show at Horseshoe Las Vegas. He says it would be called Stranglemania Viva Las Violence.
That seems to be something that lower promotions have been doing, running a show on WrestleMania weekend in the same city.
You know what? It kind of makes sense because WrestleMania gonna be $5 million.
Right. I was about to say, and that would be a whole lot more affordable.
And your third finger just to do that.
Right.